Good morning, Mr. Handy.
Good morning.
So we're here on the Thomas Bell matter. We have neither Mr. Bell's attorney nor Mr. Bell with us. And so I was just seeing if you, and just so you're aware, we're on the record. I didn't know if you had any information for the court as to why their absence is occurring.
Yeah, let me, maybe it's because they didn't know it was a courtroom 8. Should I give them a call real fast?
Sure, we'll go ahead and put you back out of the, we'll go off the record, and then if you want to give them a call. I know there's been some juggling around with courtrooms and judges today, and so that may have caused some confusion.
Okay, I can just, if you want, I can just mute and put my video off. Would that be better, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, sounds good.
No, we can stay on for now.
All right, Your Honor, she is having problems on her computer getting it. It wasn't letting her in, so she's doing it on her phone now.
Okay. And do you know if she has the defendant with her?
I'm guessing so. I did not ask, though. I apologize.
That's fine. We'll just wait for her to log on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Good morning, Ms. Fisher.
Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize about that. It must have been my computer issue. I had to pull up my phone here. The Zoom was not opening.
It's no problem. That happens. I understand those difficulties. We, just so you're aware, we don't have Mr. Bell with us. Is he in your office?
He's not. I was just talking to him about 20 minutes ago. Let me try to reach him. I apologize.
Okay, yeah, if you just want to mute, yeah.
Okay, it was taking Mr. Bell into courtroom 5, but I believe he is either logged in or in the process of logging in.
I'm assuming process because I haven't seen him pop up.
I don't see him either.
Hello?
Well, Mr. Bell, if I could have you just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Thomas Bell.
Thank you. Mr. Bell, I have a plea form in front of me on an amended charge of reckless driving. You had a chance to review that with your attorney?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Did you have any questions about it as you went through it?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
By entering a plea of guilty, the only thing left for me to do is to sentence you. This has up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. There's also a 30-day mandatory license suspension, and that would be the minimum based on your prior driving record. If you're not a U.S. citizen, finding of guilt can result in your deportation of natural or lack of naturalization into the United States. Do you understand all of those?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
So you're comfortable waiving the right to a trial, the right to remain silent, the right to hear witnesses, the right to testify on your own behalf, the fact you're presumed innocent till a jury finds otherwise, and a right to an appeal after a trial. Do you understand
Yes.
that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to enter into this change of plea?
No, Your Honor.
The statement of facts says that on or about February 1st, 2001 in Cowlitz County, Washington, I drove a motor vehicle in wanton disregard for the safety of property, and I drove in excess of the posted speed limit after consuming alcohol. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
So to the charge of reckless driving, oh, I gotta tell you one other thing, because it's amended down from a DUI, if you had any subsequent DUI charges, this would count as a prior offense. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so to the charge of reckless driving, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, based on that, I will accept your plea. I'm signing your plea form. It looks as though it was electronically approved. I don't have your actual signature on it, but I trust from what you said, you've had the chance to read this or have your attorney read it in its entirety.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So that being said, I do have the state's recommendation. I'll ask Mr. Handy if he has anything to add to that.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Fisher, anything that you want to advise the court of before I speak to your client about sentencing?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We would ask you to follow the sentencing recommendation that's outlined in the plea document. It is a negotiated and agreed sentencing recommendation. I believe it's appropriate in this case. Mr. Bell has been extremely proactive throughout this process. He's already completed what would be affirmative conditions. He got his chemical dependency evaluation back in April of last year, just over a year ago. He complied with all of that recommended treatment. It was a 3-month treatment program, including 24 hours of education. He also completed his victims impact panel. I've discussed this case with him a lot. While he does have some history, it's very old, and he's worked really hard to move past that in his life and address some of the underlying issues that lead to him putting himself in this situation. He understands the gravity of what could have happened by putting himself and others at risk by making the decision to get behind the wheel on that night. So he's done the treatment. He is a father of 3 children. So he strives to be a better role model for them and make sure that he's doing what he can to be a good role model He is a small business owner and works full time. So he has a lot going on in his life. And like I said, he's addressed everything that he needs to, and I think it's appropriate. So to ask that you impose no jail time in the 32 hours of community service. And I'm not sure, Mr. Bell, would you like to address Your Honor before his sentence?
No, Your Honor. No, sir, I wouldn't.
Okay. Based on the agreed disposition on this case, I'll follow the recommendation. What I'm going to do is impose the 4 days in custody, however, convert that to 32 hours of community service. I'll suspend the balance, which is 360 days in jail for 2 years. So Mr. Bell, if you had any new criminal offenses in the next 2 years, I can impose an additional 360 days in jail. With respect to the $500 recommended fine, I'm assuming that he is not indigent and he can pay that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I will go ahead and follow that recommendation, impose a $500 fine, suspend the additional $4,500. It's also going to be a condition of your sentence that you not drive without valid license and proof of insurance, successfully complete the 32 hours of community service, which it sounds like you've been well on your way to doing that. And so what I'll do is set a review. I don't believe the court has received that, the community service, or did you already file it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is set a review 60 days out, just to confirm that we've received the proof of community service. Assuming the state and the court is comfortable with what's been provided, we can strike that hearing. It would also be on that date to confirm that the $500 has been paid, or in the alternative, a payment plan has been laid out that would allow him to pay it over time. So one of those two things needs to happen, Mr. Bell, either pay the $500 in full, or in the alternative, get on a payment plan to get it paid in that time period. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the clerk for a date 60 days out for a review. So that'll be June 22nd of this year, and that'll be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Which courtroom are we in? And that'll be back in courtroom 5. We had a judge out ill today, and so it got bounced over to this courtroom, but we'll be back in 5. If the money has been paid and the proof of community service has also been provided to the court, we can strike that. No one would need to appear. We would just confirm at that time that it was filed. So you might want to just check with Mr. Handy to make sure he's comfortable with the nonprofit and the manner in which it was filed. It needs to be on their letterhead, signed by a supervisor from that nonprofit agency, and just basically lay out that he did complete the 32 hours of community service. Mr. Handy, did you have any questions or concerns?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Fisher, anything else?
Nothing from defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bell, did you have any questions before we log off? And we're going to send you a copy of this. If you need to make payments, the instructions on this document will allow you to extend that out.
Okay. No, Your Honor, I don't have any questions.
Okay, very good. You guys have a good weekend.
Thank
You
you.
as well.
That's
Thank
all
you,
we got.
counsel.